Have you ever noticed how heavy silence can feel when it surrounds someone you care about? Not the kind of silence that is peaceful, not the quiet that feels safe, but the silence that grows between two people. When you start to pull back, it presses against your chest. It makes your thoughts louder. It makes every memory and every expectation feel sharper, heavier, more dangerous. Why does stepping away feel like betrayal? Why does protecting your peace carry the weight of guilt? Why does withdrawing feel wrong, even when you know it is necessary? These are not questions people ask aloud. They linger in the corners of your mind. They wake you at night. They echo in moments when no one is watching, when the room is empty and only your conscience is present. The first truth is this: detachment is not abandonment. It is not cruelty. It is not a punishment. It is an act of survival. You are not meant to carry the emotional weight of everyone around you. You cannot fix every disappointment, absorb every frustration, or stabilize every instability. Yet we do it anyway. We absorb, we explain, we justify, we bend ourselves into shapes that no longer feel comfortable just to meet the invisible demands of others' expectations. And it leaves you drained, quietly, invisibly. You feel the fatigue in your bones, in your chest, in the way you hesitate to speak, the way you pause before deciding, the way you fear taking space. We have been conditioned to believe that caring too much is virtuous, that putting others first is the mark of strength. And yet, when care becomes sacrifice, when love becomes consumption, we forget ourselves. Detachment begins with observation, not reaction, not justification, just observation. Notice your own patterns. Notice the moments you give when it costs you. Notice the people who take without returning. Notice the ones who demand without listening. And do not judge yourself for it. You are human. You are learning, and learning often begins with discomfort. The second truth is subtle. Guilt is not always a moral compass. It is often a tether. We feel guilty for stepping back because we have been taught that other people's emotions are our responsibility, but they are not. Someone's anger is theirs. Someone's disappointment is theirs. Someone's frustration is theirs, not yours. You can offer compassion. You can offer understanding. You can be kind, but you cannot carry what they refuse to process themselves. You cannot control how they interpret your actions. You cannot manage their emotional response. And when you try, you lose yourself in the effort. The third truth is harsher. Some people will resent your detachment. They will call it cold. They will call it selfish. They will question your loyalty. And you may feel a pang of guilt, a doubt, a hesitation. This is natural. But remember this: their resentment does not define your morality. It defines their expectations. It defines their inability to see boundaries as healthy. Detachment will not make everyone comfortable. It will not preserve every relationship. It may even cause temporary pain, but it will protect your clarity, your energy, your capacity to think, feel, and act without invisible chains. Here is the uncomfortable insight. Detachment is not about rejecting people. It is about accepting reality. You cannot change the way others behave. You cannot rewrite their values. You cannot force them to meet your expectations. The truth is often inconvenient, and it is often lonely. You will watch people behave exactly as they always have, and you will feel the urge to intervene, to explain, to justify. Resist that urge. Observe, learn, choose your engagement. The fourth truth is about clarity. You detach not to avoid emotion. You detach to understand it, to watch the flow of energy without being swept away, to feel connection without surrendering your sense of self, to care without collapsing. This is rare, and it is quiet. It is not dramatic. It does not need applause, but it is powerful because it allows you to exist fully without losing yourself in another person's need. The fifth truth is the most liberating. Detachment teaches patience. You learn to wait, not to force outcomes, not to demand explanations, not to chase validation. You wait. You watch patterns unfold. You let behavior reveal truth. And you respond from insight rather than impulse. This patience changes everything. It removes chaos from your decisions. It removes desperation from your presence. It removes guilt from the spaces where it has no right to live. The sixth truth is subtle but essential. You are not responsible for other people's happiness. You are not the keeper of their peace. You are not required to absorb their discomfort or mediate their internal storms. This does not make you selfish. It makes you human. It makes you disciplined. It makes you aware. Detachment requires courage. The courage to face temporary isolation. The courage to accept misunderstanding. The courage to prioritize clarity over comfort. The seventh truth is reflective. Some people will never understand your need for space. Some will interpret boundaries as rejection. Some will confuse self-preservation with indifference. This is their limitation, not yours. And the moment you realize this, something shifts. Guilt begins to fade. Clarity replaces confusion. Your peace begins to feel less negotiable. The eighth truth is empowering. When you detach consciously, you reclaim your energy. You reclaim your attention. You reclaim your mind. You begin to notice the subtle ways you were drained, the invisible debts of emotion you were never meant to owe, the habits of obligation you never signed up for, and you begin to redirect your energy toward clarity, toward understanding, toward presence that is grounded in awareness, not expectation. The ninth truth is transformative. Detachment does not reduce love. It clarifies it. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can care intensely without becoming consumed. You can be close without sacrificing autonomy. And that is the quiet power of emotional awareness. The 10th truth is the one that changes everything. Detachment allows you to see patterns clearly. You stop reacting to every trigger. You stop internalizing every misstep. You stop chasing validation that was never meant to be yours. Instead, you observe. You assess. You choose. You do not detach to escape responsibility. You detach to embrace clarity. You detach to preserve your mind. You detach to act from insight rather than fear. The 11th truth is subtle and deep. The people who truly belong in your life will understand space and boundaries. They may need time, they may need adjustment, but they will not demand that you lose yourself to satisfy their expectations. This is the rare and quiet reward of detachment. Not everyone will arrive there with you. Not everyone deserves to. And the final truth is essential. Detachment is not a one-time act. It is a practice, a daily discipline, a constant awareness. It is the choice to protect your mind, even when it feels uncomfortable. The choice to preserve clarity, even when the world asks for chaos. The choice to honor yourself, even when others question it. And when you finally embrace this, guilt loses its grip. Silence no longer suffocates. Energy returns to your body, mind, and spirit. You begin to exist in a state of calm awareness, not because life has become easier, not because people have changed, but because you have learned how to navigate the world without surrendering yourself. You are no longer reactive. You are deliberate. You are present. You are free. This is the depth of detachment. Quiet, intimate, psychologically aware. It does not require applause. It does not require recognition. It simply requires honesty with yourself. And that honesty is enough. It is enough to preserve peace. It is enough to reclaim clarity. It is enough to transform the way you engage with the world. If this message resonates, subscribe for more reflections on the mind, human behavior, and the quiet, internal paths to strength. Understanding yourself, observing the world, choosing clarity over guilt.